Hello, hello, what up, well family, and welcome to Blockchain Beats, where we explore pioneering artists taking audio and music to the next level of emerging tech with interactivity and NFTs. Our guests today are J Brave and Chief Sosa, two powerhouse creatives active in music, poetry, and the arts who are helping to steer the tokenized art movement by leading one of the largest, if not the absolute largest NFT communities on Clubhouse. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yo, nice to be here. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us, bro. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. First of all, Noah.
Yeah.
Should I call you Noah or Chief Sosa?
You call me Noah. You call me Noah in the house.
I have to know now after seeing the disparity here in the names. Where did Chief Sosa come from?
Chief Sosa is actually, so I made my Discord a long time ago. And so that was just a name I had on Discord for the longest time before I even got into NFTs or like anything even related to business. That's just something like an old name I had. And, my real name's Noah, though. Nice to meet you.
I like it. No, props for the name for sure. Just to ground everybody here. So before we get into the amazing stuff you guys are doing individually and as well on Clubhouse, could you just tell us, a little bit about yourselves and kind of your background leading into it, because they're both a little bit different.
Javis, you want to start?
Yeah, sure. So, where do I even begin, right? It's like, I've been a hip hop head since birth. I grew up in the 80s in Inglewood, California. My brothers were all b-boying, breakdancing, and gangbanging. So I feel like I grew up in the heyday where hip hop was arriving in the West Coast of LA. And that's where I kind of got my first feel of just like music and connecting with like the culture of hip hop and like the essence of movement and dance. And so it's been a beautiful journey, like so many stories and lessons. Just to kind of connect on the music tip. I remember, I lost my dad when I was 11 years old. And that was a really tragic thing for me, probably the most difficult thing I've ever experienced in life. And, listening to Tupac around the age 14 really helped me feel a connection to hip hop in a way that I can use my poetry as a place to heal. Because he was so heartfelt with his poetry, his words, specifically that song, Dear Mama. He wrote about his hardship as a kid, going through adversity with his mom, being a single mother. His mom was on crack at one point. He shared so many beautiful stories in that song. And I felt such an affinity. And I feel like that song really inspired me to use poetry and song as a way to heal what I was experiencing through my trauma and pain. So I feel, to me, music is a healing medicine. I feel like music is a tool for transformation. I feel like music is my service. And, grateful to have many opportunities to share and just show up and help others feel like inspiration wherever I go.
Very cool. And I'd love to play a little bit of your music just to, ground everybody in, what it is you do. How would you characterize your music and sound?
Like beyond like a label, because, sometimes we get so wrapped up in different genres or labels. I feel like my intention is to inspire the remembrance of our divine nature. And I feel like I do that through hip hop. I do that through spoken word. I feel like, to me, if I happen to be a painter, or if I happen to be a dancer, or if I happen to be a sculptor, I would have the same intention. It just so happens that I have a fondness and an affinity to rapping. And so, to me, the intention supersedes the label, but, it's hip hop, it's conscious, it's positive vibes. It's definitely, I try to make music with a message and at the same time, be authentic to what I'm going through, whether it's a difficult day or like a beautiful day. Like, how can I express that in a way that leaves someone feeling like, wow, like I feel that energy and I feel the vulnerability behind it. So that's the vibes.
Dope. I think I'll play your track Sacred, because I think that talks to a lot of the things that you just alluded to, and people can get an idea of, what it is exactly that you're putting out there. So let's take a listen.
Hey, Pachamama, I hear you calling inside my soul. Embrace the Aina, origin of all nations. I hear the call, awaken us all.
I hear the call, I hear the cries, the beating of the drums got me open wide. I see my brothers coming, we are unified. The women are the leaders of this mighty tribe, and we won't be defeated by these corporate lies. We'll find a way to adapt, it's time to turn the tides. Break through with my people, we'll make music though evil could take away from the truth. Let fate prove it, and we don't gotta just wait, let's make a movement. Unify the tribes, elevate the vibes. Love stronger than hate, peace starts inside. Overcome the fear, great spirit will guide. Jah lead the way, let the children play. Love your mother earth, together we all pray. Stand up and fight, no time to be afraid. Warriors of the light, let's cleanse and burn sage.
Everything is sacred.
Everything is sacred.
Everyone is holy.
Everyone is holy.
There are no temples to house my soul.
My soul.
Everything is sacred.
Everything is sacred.
Everyone is holy.
Everyone is holy.
There are no temples to house my soul.
Great spirit, tell me, do you feel it? There's a voice calling out deep inside, can you hear it? Reminded to still remember that everything is one. There's a beating in my chest from the sound of the drum. We are warriors, peacekeepers of the land, stewards of the earth, here to carry out a plan. If everyone's connected, then reach out and take my hand. The time is coming now, we got to choose and make a stand. There's nowhere left to go, we travel down the road. The oracle is spoken and we've seen it all before. Atrocities are happening all around the globe. Mother God needs our help for the healing of his soul. I reach into the soul, I feel the connection. Burn a little sage and pray to the four directions. Look up to the sky, I see the reflection. The light coming down is a blessing.
Everything is sacred.
Everything is sacred.
Everyone is holy.
Everyone is holy.
There are no temples to house my soul.
My soul.
Everything is sacred.
Everything is sacred.
Everyone is holy.
Everyone is holy.
There are no temples to house my soul. Oh, Mother Gaia, hey Pachamama, I hear you calling inside my soul. Embrace the I know, origin of all nations. I hear the call, awaken us all. No peace, no part, hope from the start, a perfect holograph of the universal heart. I walk as the human spirit, move through me, no temple can house my soul.
No more profit over people and money over nature. Despite our disagreements, I was taught to never hate you. But you make it really extra hard for me, brother. Time and time again, you disrespecting our mother. It's like you only care about the paper in your pocket. What about the people that are living in the projects? What about the people that defend the sacred land? And what about the children who oppose your little plan? You trying to build a pipeline on my lifeline? Our people have been here longer than your lifetime. In the dark, that's when we let our light shine. We're coming all together in this very special time. The whole world is watching, we don't accept bribes. Protect this great spirit, let's unify the tribes. We stand for the earth, for the air, for the water. The 7 generations of our sons and our daughters.
Everything is sacred. Everyone is holy.
We're standing rock.
There are no temples to house my soul. Everything is sacred. Everyone is holy. There are no temples to house my soul.
Dope. Normally I like to fade out a little bit, so we don't spend too much time on the outro, but the instrumentation and everything you guys put together there was so sick. I had to play it all the way through to make everybody could enjoy that. So awesome. I do have to ask though, J Brave, taking a listen to your catalog, you had such a diverse representation of style. What was your music pedigree? Were you on labels at some point? It seems like you you can represent a lot of different things stylistically.
Yeah. I just love all music. Like, if you had to ask me my top three influences for music, for me would be Bob Marley, Tupac, and Sade. And I don't know, I just feel like a connection with those three artists. I feel they all are very unique in their own expression, but they all offer different things that I resonate with, the parts of myself. I mean, like, I feel like I've always been unique. I've always had an eclectic perspective of life. And for a long time as a kid, I struggled with me being a mixed kid, me being someone of different cultures and races, me being someone who was interested in things that maybe other people weren't interested in, always trying to kind of find my identity. But as I grew and matured on my spiritual path, I began to appreciate my uniqueness. And so to me, my music just kind of reflects that facet of me. Like, I'm a very unique person. I used to work at Universal Music for many years, actually, like back in my early 20s, which is the biggest record label in the world. I thought my destiny was going to be an executive in the music business. And then, when Napster jumped off in the early 2000s, 2001, 2002, the whole music industry changed. Labels were collapsed. A lot of people were fired. And my destiny went from being a trajectory of working in the marketing department to really working on my own music and really allowing these songs I've been working on since I was a little kid to kind of come into the forefront. And, I've been throwing events in the LA area for over 18 years, hosting open mics, hosting bigger events at clubs. I did a 5-year running weekly event called Luminous Movement in Santa Monica at Zanzibar. And I've been throwing events under the name Benevolence for the last many years that I've been visioning to make into a whole festival. Of course, when COVID hit, I kind of reeled all that back because live events kind of took a pause for so long. So, been independent predominantly. Was a part of a hip hop band I founded called Luminaries. We toured the country, toured internationally. And still doing my thing, just spreading this positivity through hip hop.
Super dope. Super dope. I'm sure we'll have more questions with regards to some of the things you alluded to in your music in our conversation a little bit down the line. But Noah, I want to get to you. My understanding is, you actually had some crypto background in itself, and that kind of led you to this movement. So prior to Clubhouse and the NFT explosion that's happened recently, can you walk me through your background a little bit and what steered you here?
Yeah, man. So, in 2017, I found out about cryptocurrency. And back then, I put a little bit of money into it, just, really diving deep into it, because at the time, I thought that this was such a revolutionary concept for money and finances to be decentralized. And really, I thought it's like a way to give power to the people. So I first found out about it back then. And then, for the past couple of years, I kind of forgot about it completely and didn't even look back on it just because, I'm a student, so I just been focusing on school for the most part as of recent. And, I was going in person and COVID hit and lockdown and was shifting to online. So now all this free time, right? So what I did at the start of COVID was really just figure out how I can work on myself the most and what I can do to improve myself, because, there was a lot of, concern and anxiety in the air. People were not sure what they were going to do with their lives. People were losing jobs, everyone was going into depression, right? So I was like, okay, I'm going to take this time to really work on myself. So what I did was really just start focusing on working out and exercising, and that's kind of how one of the first steps I took was just working out and exercising like every day. So I had basically all the free time in the world. I was working out, pushing myself hours, 6 hours a day, 5 hours a day, 10 hours a day, literally just not even resting, because I was just so focused on one thing. And I was like, there's so much chaos in the world. What's the one thing I can work on this second that I can do? Was like, boom, I'm going to start doing some push-ups. I'm going to start running around the block. I'm going to start doing this, pull-ups, doing whatever I can, because I was like, it's just a goal. And I think, it's really important to set goals. So that was my first goal I started. And, I was kind of in that workout only mode phase for the longest time. And then I kind of shifted once I found out about Clubhouse. And I found out about Clubhouse with my dad. A friend of his told him about it. And then we got on it and we were just listening in the car to all these conversations that were going on. Like day one, months ago, January or December, I don't remember actually. But there was all these interesting conversations about metaphysics and life and this and art and community and music. And this was before the NFT whole sphere was really popping, but gave me some insight. I was like, wow, Clubhouse is amazing. It's revolutionary. It's like a podcast, but you can actually talk back. Because I love to listen to podcasts, but the one thing I hate is that sometimes I'll listen and I'll really want to chime in, but I can't. I'm just the listener. So this felt like, wow, this is kind of gives everyone an equal playing field and lets everyone, speak and, be themselves, right? So we basically dive, head first in a clubhouse, just, going on every day, meeting all these people, making all these connections, listening to all these different rooms and whatnot, right? So that was going on for a couple weeks. And then, I found out about NFTs. I found out about NFTs on Clubhouse. And, I was kind of just listening. I was unsure of what NFTs were. And I found that it's like crypto art. I was like, oh, crypto, like, I remember about crypto. I learned about that a while ago, but let me go like check up on like crypto and learn more about it, right? So that sort of NFTs, I kind of started diving really deep into cryptocurrencies and just doing research on all the coins and the different utilities and, the possibilities with all these coins and social tokens and all these amazing things that were just like, it just there. They're all just gems to me. So I was just soaking up all this information, right? So, we were riding the NFT wave. And then, just listening to rooms on Clubhouse. And then one day, you probably know him, Farouk called me. He texted me. He was like, yo, you can now make your own clubs on Clubhouse. You can pick your name. Because for the longest time, there was a waiting list for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 6 weeks. No one was getting a club. So he called me one day, like, yo, you can make your own club right now. I was like, damn, like that's really cool. And this time, probably like 1,000 followers, literally 1,000. He was like, yo, what should we do? And like, what's popular right now? Like NFTs. Like, how can we actually make a difference? NFTs. So I was like, let me just try it. NFT. So I was like, boom, I got the NFT club.
All right, hold on. I have to pause you right there just for a second.
Yeah.
Before I lose track of this. So Farouk called you, but how did you have that existing relationship with Farouk? Because he's a monster in social media, right? Like, were you involved in that, or was that a relationship that just came about because you both were on Clubhouse?
All from Clubhouse. He started working with my dad really closely, and just me being in the rooms and listening. Because here's what you got to understand about Clubhouse at the beginning. Like right now, you see there's all these top guys like Farouk, this one, that one, this one, all these people with thousands of followers, and it's like their own leading their own pack. But at the beginning, it was kind of like everyone was in their own pack. So even if Farouk had 10,000 followers and I have 1 follower or 100 followers, so this one has X amount of followers, we're all in the same rooms and we're all talking and we're all connecting. So that connection, was formed just being on Clubhouse, basically, and just learning and meeting everyone. Because back then it was just like connection, right? So as we were growing on Clubhouse, that connection just grew stronger. So, when that NFT thing came about, he called me and we hopped on that. And I made the NFT club, and, since then, we've been able to build, the biggest NFT community on Clubhouse. We believe we're at 25,000 members right now. And, we've just done so many amazing things for the community and given back in so many ways. We've connected with a lot of artists. We've given a lot of artists different platforms, and we've worked with various celebrities promoting their drop and really just figuring out how we can uplift this community that's been so strong and just give back and support in any way we can. So that's been, the main focus, just the NFT club on Clubhouse. And, Farouk has grown to be a really good moderator. And, now we're putting together some pretty big rooms.
Yeah, no, between Gary Vee and Mad Dog Jones and Snoop Dogg, whoever, you got the game just popping in casually to talk. You guys got some amazing stuff going on for sure. Yeah. I think a lot of us find this interesting because obviously, the NFT space and tokenized art is a movement that's been happening for a few years. And because of the mainstream press and some of the interest that evolved recently, and then it became a topic on Clubhouse. And quickly, you guys amassed a community in size and scope that's one of the most influential, right? One of absolutely the most influential, especially to people that are new to the technology and to, NFTs and the NFT ecosystem. You guys are onboarding a bunch of people that are 100% new and never had heard of it before.
Yeah, because that was kind of the situation I was in, right? Where I found out about NFTs just recently. I had no idea that these were going on under the term non-fungible token for years and months beforehand. I had no idea. I knew about memes. I knew about like skins and games. So when I learned about NFTs, it kind of synced up for me. I was like, oh, so an NFT is just like a meme. It's just like a picture. It's like a skin in a game that people buy and spend a lot of money on every day. So it's like just that, but art, So I was telling everyone about it, and I was just going crazy. But yeah, I mean, I think part of the reason why I've been able to grow so much is just because of how genuine we are. It's not, we want to be the number one, or we want as many followers. That's not the goal. The goal is to really just stimulate amazing conversations and meet amazing people and connect with artists and fans and collectors and musicians and everything, basically,
Yeah, and between the stuff that you do and even just talking to you right now, you can hear that you're passionate about it, and it's cool because that passion almost came secondarily, right? At first, you said you were looking for what was, getting a lot of traction as far as people's interests go, and as you saw more and more about it and did more research, you were kind of pulled into the world, and now you're trapped with the rest of us.
Yeah,
so
it just happened serendipitously, it's
right.
great.
Right. How about you, J Brave? What was your exposure to NFTs and tokenized art?
Yeah, I mean, Noah and I have known each other for years. Noah's my nephew, by the way. His dad's my spiritual brother. We've been connected forever. And I feel like we all got on the platform the same month. Keep in mind, after, like you mentioned, this big break from seeing people because of COVID and the pandemic,
right,
or whatever. So I hadn't seen Noah and his dad in a very long time, especially his dad. But I hadn't seen Noah in many, many months because of the space we've been giving each other. And so when we reconnected on Clubhouse, we all felt that, like, wow, we can connect with people, have a social experience that feels authentic, and reconnect. And we kept popping up in the same rooms. And so to kind of see Clubhouse grow, and then the NFT grow, and then making the connection with Farak and all the amazing people like Wolf, and so many amazing, even Whale Shark too, on there many times. It's like building a real authentic community via the voice, which is so beautiful because I'm a vocalist. I love using my voice as my greatest superpower. And so it's amazing to tap in and see the vibes and see how it's expanded. And I think it's interesting because on a spiritual level, back in December 21st, 2020, we entered the age of Aquarius. You know what I'm saying? That was a definitive moment after over 2,000 years, us as a collective species entering this age of Aquarius. And then when February came, around the Chinese New Year, 7 planets, I believe, actually aligned with Aquarius. And that was the first time that happened since the Dark Ages turned into the Renaissance time. And so to me, when NFTs exploded, it was very much in alignment to when, art became a huge thing in the world during the Renaissance period hundreds of years ago. So it's almost like we're collectively repeating a cycle and putting the artists in the forefront. I think it's a phenomenal opportunity for people to grow and expand. I feel like it's amazing to see how I've been hosting so many artists over the years doing live paintings or live visuals at my shows, and then kind of seeing them in the forefront this last couple of months has been amazing, of like news and press and kind of giving them their flowers. And I'm excited because, I'm working on some NFT projects with my music and some concepts with my Hawks company that I collaborate with my brothers. And, we want to do an NFT drop. We'll do it in a real way. I think it's important for people to take their time. So many people kind of enter the space quickly just to make a quick buck, but it's a community. I think it's really important to do the due diligence, to connect with people, to make real relationships, to support other artists along the way, and not just try to do it to get the bag. So it's been really humbling, and I feel like I've grown a lot. I made so many amazing connections with so many phenomenal artists.
Yeah, you alluded to the fact that it's the cycle repeating itself, and I would agree that considering the circumstances with COVID being a big factor, and people not being able to socialize, and people being more into their creative endeavors because of that solitude and that opportunity to kind of focus along with these different communication vehicles, be it Clubhouse, Discord, all those things at our disposal, and this amazing vehicle for art, for expression, for artist empowerment, all of these different things happening at the same time. It was really this confluence of these factors that helped, grow this, I think, beyond what would it have been had this not happened. Because one of the things I love about Clubhouse, and it is a significantly, I feel like it's a different type of community and vibe and what happens there versus the traditional communities of the NFT space, be it Twitter or Discord or whatever. And great things happen there for sure. But in Clubhouse, you have a lot of people that are looking for the information, and you can passively absorb something because you're hearing people talk, you're hearing their voice, you're hearing people that have altruistic motives, along with people coming in talking about grabbing the bag, along with people trying to do a charity endeavor. it's this wild mix that happens in real time. You're seeing the evolution of that group. It's shaping itself, and I don't think it's done. Right? There's things that have happened in recent weeks that have certainly aided the community and had spurred some great conversations. But we are all early. We are all early. Sometimes I see people get a little salty and say, "Hey, well, this group did this first, or this group did that first." When they look back in history at NFTs, certainly there were people that were pioneers and really putting in work, but I would still consider anyone doing something right now early. And what you guys are doing on Clubhouse is an incredible amalgamation of the technology available, and like you guys always talk about, bridging to this community outside of crypto, outside of the traditional NFT and tokenized art space. So I think it's super cool what you guys do, and obviously invaluable to the artist community, to the scene as a whole, and the evolution of everything. So props to you guys. Thank you so much for what you do.
For sure. I was just tuning into, like, there's 3 types of people that I found in the space. I mean, there's more, but in general, there's people that create art, that are artists, you know what I mean? And there's people that want to invest in art as an investment opportunity, because obviously there's a potential to make a lot of money. And then there's people that just want to support artists unconditionally. Like, there's people that say, I want to support artists because I want to give back. And I feel like we're all kind of finding our way, like you mentioned, in real time. And I think, to me, the best thing that's happened in this last couple of months is things have exploded since Blau did his drop, and since all the amazing drops that have happened in the space. Is that people are getting inspired to create more art, whether their motivation is to make financial a living off of that, or their intention is to do something because they love making art. I think whatever inspires people around the world to tune into how we can create art is a beautiful thing, because art, like music, is extremely healing. So it's been really cool to see how that healing is taking place in different ways.
Right, you got Gary V was sketching, right, and showing on his Twitter not long ago before you knew he had an NFT project. You have people that are experiencing and seeing all this super dope artwork and things being created, be it music or whatever, and then being inspired to go participate themselves. And because of that, we have these amazing collaborations that we may not have seen otherwise. And certainly it's getting the creative juices flowing, which is an awesome thing. But I don't want to characterize what the NFT club and what it's like on Clubhouse. I want you guys to tell the community that may not be able to get on Clubhouse. We have a lot of people in our Discord that are Android users who have a light at the end of the tunnel, so I hear, but to this point have said, hey, I haven't been able to experience it, and they're only hearing anecdotally from other people. How would you characterize specifically NFT club and that experience is?
Well, to start, I'll say I believe they just added Android users on Clubhouse. I think that they just came out with an update with that, and these days it's super easy to get invites. You can get a bunch of invites from the club. We can send out 1,000 invites to everyone in your whale community as well. But what I'll say about Clubhouse is the way I first described it to people when I was like day one is, imagine you're listening to a podcast about whatever you want to listen about: music, NFTs, sports, food, entertainment, TV, whatever, anything that's there. There's so many possibilities. So imagine you're listening to a podcast where you can actually chime in and add value just as much as you're receiving the value. And so on the NFT Club, we really make an effort to hear from the artists. For example, let's say J Brave, for example. If we're doing an NFT drop for J Brave, we would bring him on stage and he would share his life story and show what inspires him to make music and his Hawks brand and all of the amazing things he's doing, and we'll really get feedback, and maybe we'll bring up some questions from the audience. We can have everyone contribute, So the main thing is really just listening to everybody. It doesn't matter if you're famous or have millions of dollars or this or that. It's all about your voice, and it's not really about what you show, because let's say for Instagram or Twitter or even Facebook, there's a lot of people that are on there that try to flex what they have. Let's say they have money or cars or whatever. None of that matters on Clubhouse. Why? Because if you don't have anything to say and you're not smart and you're not able to contribute, then you'll fail, because it's all the power of voice. It's about what you know, not about what you show. So we really emphasize that on the NFT Club, just hearing from everybody, despite where you are.
Yeah, and just to add on to that too, I feel what makes the NFT Club very unique is the core team. Paulo, Farak, Noah, they're all represent different facets of diversity. I feel like the rooms are very diverse. You know what I mean? Like I feel the people, when you host a room, it's like hosting a party at your house. And so, you know, whatever vibe you're on is going to reflect the type of people that stick around in your room. And I feel tuning into Paulo and Farak is like, they're so like relatable and down to earth and fun and charismatic. And they really want to help people and be in service. And I feel like they hold an energy that's very like entertaining. And at the same time, it's not like you enter the room and you feel intimidated. Like sometimes I've been in rooms, I'm like, wow, this feels like a really heavy business meeting or something like that. And not to judge, because that's somebody else's bag and that's cool. But I just feel like it's very like down to earth and relatable, and they really hold a really beautiful space and container for people to feel heard and expressed. It's not like they only bring on stage people that have 100,000 followers. You know, they want to make sure that people on the stage are different races, different cultural backgrounds, men, women, and make sure everyone feels heard and seen. And I feel like they do a really great job of making everyone feel appreciated, which I think is really important when you're hosting rooms on Discord or even on Clubhouse as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, even on that, you know, it's just amazing the amount of diversity we're able to create in the rooms. You know, we have artists on stage, we have, you know, creators from Instagram, Twitter, whatever. We have collectors, you know, we have so many amazing people. And what's amazing, it's not just Paolo, Farouk, me, we have this amazing team, and you know we've been able to connect with a really amazing collector by the name of Mondour, and he's, you know, made his whole NFT guild collection, and he's actually giving back to all of the holders of his NFTs. And it's not about he's trying to make money with this, he's trying to get out and get in and get out. He's really just trying to come in and support the community. And so it's really amazing how we're able to really just show that, you know, genuine, you know, show that we're genuine, you know. So I'm really happy to be here, and you know, it's amazing.
Dope. I have a question for you guys, because you're so positive. You have that lively party atmosphere almost sometimes. How do you manage trying to stay inclusive and be positive in that room and in what you support, but not come across as strictly shilling things that may not, you know, warrant the same level of support because it's not as authentic or not as genuine to, you know, what the ethos is of what you're trying to do?
You mean in context of like if we're hosting someone in the room and they're doing a drop and we're not feeling it, or like, can you be more specific?
Yeah. I mean, so I suppose someone could ask to, you know, have a room hosted for them, and it may be divergent from something that's has a lot more intrinsic artistic value. Someone may be just trying to get the bag, but they're a celebrity, or someone may chime in, say, hey, I'd like to talk about X, Y, and Z, and it's really against what you're talking about in the room. Because I've seen I've seen you guys have to handle that situation. So I just thought it would be cool to talk about it.
Yeah. I think a cool example that I observed is the time where we were hosting Steve Aoki, and you know, he was new to the space per se, even though obviously he's a legendary musician, everyone knows him around the world. And it was so cool to kind of like, I don't think anyone knew his background with art and collections and everything, but like the space was held in a really beautiful way for him to share his background. And lo and behold, he's been collecting art for so long. Lo and behold, he loves collecting baseball cards and sports cards. And I feel like a part of it is that, you know, like you mentioned before, this community with NFTs and crypto and digital art has been going on for years. It just so happens that it's starting to get the limelight now. And I feel, you know, the rooms are hosted in such a way to allow people to feel like they can open up and share the sides of themselves, how they connect with art in general, and how they feel, you know, they can support the space in an authentic way. So they feel it's a learning thing, like all things, you know what I'm saying? Like, of course, like, he's been more focused on music, but it's beautiful to see the space that's being held to allow someone to grow into a community versus being like, oh, well, you haven't been here for years. Like, what, you're just trying to get some paper. And I'm not saying people aren't doing that. Of course, some people have been trying to just enter the space like that. But I think it's also kind of like, you know, realizing we're all human and we all can hold the space for each other to grow. And it was cool to hear him share his story in connection with art and collecting physical art for like a very long time. And then the same thing happened with Don Diablo. Like, a lot of people have never heard Don speak because he's a DJ, and people just go to the shows, dance to his music for 4 hours, and they see him as the image. But then like holding the space on Clubhouse where Noah and Farouk and Paulo could like really allow someone's personality to shine through by hearing their voice and sharing stories. is really beautiful to see.
Yeah, and in addition to that, yeah, sometimes, you know, people do come up. They might have some conflicting view, or just maybe there's a troll in the audience. They might just come up and say something, whatever. That always happens, right? That's normal in any space, right? But we're not the ones going to be like, oh, you don't agree with us, you got to leave, or you don't, boom, you're boom, blocked, done, you're out. It's like, okay, well, thank you for, you know, sharing that. And, you know, maybe that was a bit off topic, but I appreciate your point of view. And yeah, we're really to focus on this NFT experience, and yeah, we'll continue on going forward. You know, I think the best part about it is we actually are open to hearing every side of the argument, or whatever it may be. So it's not, you know, I've been in some rooms where it's like very strict, and if you don't believe in what I say, you're wrong, and I'm right, you're wrong, and you're blocked, and you get to go. You know, it's not even like that at all. It's very welcoming. And I feel like, you know, yeah, we do get those trolls, but for the most part, people know and people respect that. And, you know, most of the people in our rooms are, you know, probably interested in what we have to say anyway.
Dope. I wanted to clear something up, because one of the things I hear often when people try to characterize Clubhouse is that when they go into the room, they feel like most of the rooms are other artists. What would you say is the breakdown, if you wanted to just assume, like, as far as representation of people within the NFT scene? Is it primarily artists that are in these particular rooms, and in yours in particular, or do you think it's a good balance of creators, collectors, other people in tertiary industries?
Yeah, so in the NFT club specifically, I'll break it down just simply. I mean, we have myself, we have Farouk, and we have Paolo. So Farouk and Paolo, so Paolo's my dad, he's the business guy in the back end. Farouk is very a good spokesperson. He's talkative, you know, he's really energetic, and he's able to really bring that energy and connect and network. You know, we have myself, who, you know, I'm like the researcher guy, and I'm in the room studying all the things. And we have Amir, you know, who's a really amazing collector giving back to the community. So those are the people kind of at the top, you could say. But then I feel like beyond that, we have the artists, you know, so we have the artists that come in. We'll have even people who aren't artists just in the audience that maybe we know in real life that we just want to bring up on stage. Like, hey, like, it's nice to reconnect with you. We're doing this thing, and they'll just come up to support. But, you know, that's just for our rooms, and we really just love to keep it, you know, diversified and bring everyone and have everyone on stage. Like, if you come to an NFT club room, it's not like you're going to just have the artist, or you're just going to have the celebrity on stage. It's like you'll see everyone on stage, and you'll click on different profiles, and you'll be like, wow, everyone's cool. This person's a singer, this person's an actress, this person's a comedian, this person does this person does that. So that's one of the amazing things about the NFT club. But just in general on Clubhouse, I see a lot of artists kind of just making their own rooms, which I'm a big fan of, because it gives you as the artist the chance to promote yourself and share yourself and share your story with all your fans and connect with them on a one-on-one deep level. Like, and I'll see all these rooms with artists like, hey, I just dropped an NFT, you know, or I'm thinking about NFT, like, let's talk. And I'll join like, hey, I love what you're doing. Like, you know, keep it up. You know, we're here to support, and it's all a big family. It's a big community, you know?
That's cool. One of the questions we see often is from artists that are kind of mystified by Clubhouse, whether, you know, they don't have the comfort level getting on stage and talking, or they're just not sure exactly how to approach it. What are some pieces of advice that you would give artists looking to take part and try to maximize, you know, what they can get out of it, as far as information, as far as community, as far as support, and everything else that you guys do so well?
Yeah, I would say that, you know, to me, it's funny because my name is Brave. Like, I was given the name Brave, and like one day I was asking the universe, I was meditating, like, why was I given this name Brave? Why was I given this moniker? And what came through was to be brave is to be vulnerable. And I feel being on that platform, and even being on Discord, like seeing people share with their voice is new for some people. For me, I've been doing it for many years, but it took a while to come out of my shell when I was younger. But I know that it can be very intimidating to open up and share on stage and feel like, you know, insecurities or judgment or shame regarding whatever's coming up. But I feel when we lean into our vulnerability, it's really like our greatest strength. And I feel, you know, to add this story, like I was mentioning about the DJs with Don Diablo and Steve Aoki, it was so cool to hear them share their stories and get to know them beyond just what we see image-wise at their performances or on social media. And I think that's the beautiful thing for all of us, to be able to open up our voices and have the opportunity to be seen, heard, and appreciated. And encouraging artists that are trying to show up in a certain way to do that is important, because it just adds more value to their art. I feel like, to know why a person is inspired to make their art, to know what inspired them, or what they're trying to convey through their artistic expression, whether it's music or NFTs, digital or physical art, to me, this adds more of the lore to the whole experience. And I feel it just takes time, but I think Clubhouse has been such a profound tool to for all of us to practice that energy of feeling safe, to be seen by others, and allow our stories to be seen and heard as well. So it's powerful. It just takes some practice to lean into, but it can really, for sure, amplify anyone's platform.
Yeah, and I completely agree with that. And one thing I would say, let's say for all the artists out there that are trying to find their voice, and I know it can be very intimidating coming onto the app, and you see maybe a room with 5,000 people, 2,000 people, or you might see your favorite celebrity on stage talking. Your heart might start to beating when they bring you up on stage. You don't know what to say. You're stuttering. Right? That's very normal, and I know that because that's how I was at first. I was just on these rooms. It's like, wait a minute, I have to speak to all these people now. Like, I don't know any of these people. It was very, it's very hard to just dive right into that, right? So what I would say is, 1, get on Clubhouse. 2, just listen and join as many rooms as possible, because you'll find so many amazing rooms and so many amazing communities and cliques, not even at the big level, but at the smallest level. I mean, there's rooms that are recurring every day in Clubhouse that have the same 4 people in them every day. Every day there's rooms. And they'll talk about what they got to talk about, their own conversation, their own club, right? You don't have to dive right into the biggest room. You could start small. What I would say is really just get used to the app, get used to listening to all these people and joining all these rooms, and follow people. And not only just follow people, but go on to the room and click on every person's profile that's on stage, right? Like, oh, okay, that's a cool person. And then click on everyone's profile in the audience. And what's even better about this, you can click on their profile while you're in the room. You can click on their Instagram, and then you can DM them. Hey, what's up? You're a really cool artist. I just heard you speak. It's nice to connect. 99% of the time, they'll respond to you. Why? Because everyone's on Clubhouse anyway, looking at their phone. So they're going to respond to you and be like, hey, it's really nice to connect. Let's hop on a call. Let's discuss, maybe we can work together. Maybe we can build a friendship. You never know. Right? So it's just amazing how there's that much opportunity in the space, and you could just join and listen and meet new people,
Yeah, no, thank you so much for that advice, because that's a question that's often asked here. And I just have to give kudos to you guys, because you're fostering really genuine, incredible relationships on a different level. I'm certainly not messaging people in our community and giving them my phone number to, exchange text messages, because I'll just get a bunch of memes. This is the crypto world, so I'll be in for it. It's a little bit different, but you guys are doing that frequently, and it just speaks to the level of connection that you can make. And this is, significant players in industries and with artists, speaking with people that are relatively new and setting up, amazing collaborations. A lot of artists we've had on here for showcases have gone on to have some collaborations with some incredible, really high profile people thanks to Clubhouse. So you're certainly setting that up. Funny story about Don Diablo. We had him on and he was live on cam. I think he got raided by the police or something. And he was at his mother's house quickly before he went on Clubhouse for his first auction. And his mother was like feeding him a sandwich while he was trying to get dressed. It was quite the interesting perspective, like you said, taken out of the lens of social media and the stage pictures. This was like pure chaos incarnate, but it definitely had us appreciate everything that he was doing and speaking to us that much more.
Yeah, and I'll add to that, like, that's a good point. One of the things I've learned on Clubhouse is it really humanizes a lot of celebrities, a lot of people with voices, because maybe you might see someone on Instagram or TV that you watch all the time, or you just heard of in the news. Maybe you just know the person's name because they've been a figure. But then you hear them speak on Clubhouse, and you're like, okay, you're actually a real person that has real thoughts, and I can actually talk to you. We can have a real conversation. You're not just Don Diablo, the legendary DJ artist. You're Don Diablo, the guy that I can talk to on stage and connect and ask questions and learn from. And so that's another really powerful tool about it. It's really just not about who you are in your personal life, because once you come to Clubhouse, you're just speaking to everyone. your true colors really show. If you're an amazing person, it'll bleed through, and if you're a bad actor, it'll show.
Right. Fortunately, I was able to see Farouk before he got his punk, so I know he's not quite as intimidating as he looks now with that as his profile pic. Had a couple more questions for you guys with regards to Clubhouse, but before I go any further, I wanted to highlight a track of J Brave's that I particularly liked. It's called Medicine, so I'd like to give our listeners and viewers a chance to check this track out.
Medicine, 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 medicine. Music is my medicine, the semblance of all the hip-hop elements, the eloquence of how we feel, the reverence of everything we choose to be. Writing down this poetry, light and dark, ignite the spark. This life is like a flowing stream. Through my consciousness, travel across the continents. The compliments that give me don't equate for my accomplishments. It's a Mozart, channeling this music, it's a movement, how we do it, using songs of life diffusers, giving knowledge like Confucius, and homage to the muses. We use it to express and to reveal what all our truth is. I do it for everybody, lifting up their fists. One tribe, unify, put your hands up in the sky. Through the infinite source, I am one with the force. We heal the world with the words of the chorus. Like music is my medicine, I'ma let it in. Deep inside, feel the vibe, time to go within. Music is my medicine, I'ma let it in. Deep inside, feel the vibe, time to go within. Music is my medicine, I'ma let it in. Deep inside, feel the vibe, time to go within. Music is my medicine, I'ma let it in. Deep inside, feel the vibe. Music is my medicine, 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 medicine.
Yeah.
Music is my medicine, 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 medicine.
Yeah.
Music is my medicine, 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 medicine. Music is my medicine, medicine, medicine. Deep inside, feel the vibe.
It's the only medicine that I recommend daily. When I feel like dipping out, it's the only thing that saved me. Courage in the beat when I'm questioning my bravery. Stirring up my feet to the rhythms that have made me. Take it a few times a day and watch the pain go. Watch the pain go away. It's like the waves though. Soon they'll be back to say, just hit rewind and let all that music play. Yeah, yeah. Music is our true thing. The soul storms, but the sounds hella soothing. Yeah. I said music is our true thing. The soul storms, but the sounds hella soothing. That's when a spoonful of tunes help the meds go down. Reconnecting with our roots like we're digging in the ground. Find the jewels in the jam and adorn your crown. It's the antidote to help you float. There's no time to drown in.
Music is my medicine, I'ma let it in. Deep inside, feel the vibe, time to go within. Music is my medicine, I'ma let it in. Deep inside, feel the vibe, time to go within. Music is my medicine, I'ma let it in. Deep inside, feel the vibe, time to go within. Music is my medicine, I'ma let it in. Deep inside, feel the vibe. Music is my medicine, 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 medicine.
Yeah.
Music is my medicine, 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 medicine.
Yeah.
Music is my medicine, 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 medicine. Music is my medicine, medicine, medicine. Deep inside, feel the vibe, time to go within.
Dope.
Amazing.
My neck hurts right now from snapping a little too much. I'm gonna have to send you the bill, J Brave.
Oh, you got it, bro. I'm glad you're getting that headbang in, bro. Get it in.
Yeah, definitely vibing. I wanted to ask you guys. You have so many unique guests and so many crazy things that happen in your room with just the groups of people that you bring together from all walks of life. Can each of you tell me about what are some of the dopest or craziest experiences that you've had? If you had to pick a moment or two or a room or two, what are some of the craziest or dopest things that you've experienced in your room?
Yeah, one time, I think the first thing that came to my mind is when we were hosting Snoop. And by the way, just shout out to Pablo and Farouk for just bringing in the most epic people in the universe. But we were in the room with Snoop, and the game came in, and then I love stories. Like, to me, stories is the way we all, whether we know it or not, like we're all here to share our story through our music, through our art, through our dance, even through right now, like even through crypto, it's like a part of like sharing our story in the context of how we choose to express. And so when the game came in, they started reminiscing about, you know, times where they connected, and he was sharing the story about he met Snoop Dogg at a gas station and randomly just kind of like approached him and was like, man, I'm a rapper from Compton, this and that. And I don't know where he was at in the stage of his career. I think it was kind of when he was young. But basically they struck such a cool vibe, and maybe Snoop had heard of him through the streets or whatever, that literally that night they went to the studio and recorded a song together. And that's how they connected. But this was like before the game blew up. And it was just such a cool story to hear from both perspectives, how they both met as two legends in West Coast hip hop. And for me, that was really cool as an MC to just like hear the background of that. And I think it's amazing. I feel like that's a beautiful thing about, you know, voice apps, like, you know, on Clubhouse is like you get to connect with people that maybe in normal life you wouldn't see, and then hear stories that are off the charts and incredible. So that was a really inspirational moment for sure.
I was actually in that room. That was super cool. And I was telling everybody afterwards, Game was so eloquent when talking about, you know, the NFT and crypto space, and, you know, the opportunities that NFT would provide artists and wanting to get it into the hands of the disenfranchised and empower people. I was super impressed with him that night. But you're right. It was like an all-star lineup of people coming through. That was incredible.
Yeah, no, that room was, you know, crazy, you know, because I think it was like Jake Paul's NFT drop or NFT announcement or boxing thing, something with that. And I remember there was a group chat, you know, I was in with him for Paulo, and he said, yo, I'm about to bring up Snoop Dogg. And I was like, nah. I was thinking like, no, you're not. Like, what are you talking about? 2 minutes later, Snoop Dogg is, yo, what up? I'm like, what? Like, I was losing my mind. I was like, I was just trying to keep it cool, but I was like, damn, like, Snoop, like, we got Snoop Dogg in the room. I was taking screenshots of it, like me next to Snoop Dogg's name on the thing right there. The game pulls up. They start telling like stories, and then all of a sudden we have this big room. Like, it was big before, but now it's like big top of the room. You know, we have all these amazing conversations going on how we can, you know, create change, and it was just an amazing experience that all happened so randomly. And that's another thing about Clubhouse is a lot of the best moments in the best rooms all happen like last minute, not even planned, randomly, completely sporadic, which, you know, is super cool, you know, but it could be stressful sometimes. It's like, wow, what's up, Snoop Dogg? How you doing? You know what I mean? So that room was cool. And then, you know, obviously we did Snoop Dogg's drop as well. That was a cool room. You know, we got to learn more about him and, you know, his experience as a rapper. And the Aoki room, I really like the Steve Aoki room because, funny enough, I actually met Steve Aoki when I was about like 8 years old or 9 years old, at his video shoot with him and Vern Troyer, Mini-Me from Austin Powers, rest in peace to him. But it was a picture of me, you know, my sister, Vern Troyer, and Steve Aoki. So I always had that picture in the back of my mind. And it was like Steve Aoki was a person I saw when I was younger. I was like, I met that guy before, right? So then when he came on the stage with the room, I made my profile picture like, oh yeah, I remember that. Like, it's nice to see you again, dude. So like, that was like a super cool connection for me. And you know, that was a cool room. But you know what? Every single room is amazing and every single artist. And I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of hard to remember every single room, like all the drops we've done, because at this point, there's been so many. But those are the two ones that stick out to me the most off the top of my head.
Yeah, very cool. I don't spend that much time on Clubhouse, unfortunately, just because I don't have the time to dedicate to it. I wish I did. I do find myself, you know, now and then when I can find some space, trying to throw it on, or especially when I go for a drive that's a little bit longer, because that's one of the few times I have solitude between what I do here for Whale, and I have you know, some other business ventures and artistic things that I do. But even in that short amount of time, 3 kind of bizarre or cool or crazy things that have happened to me. One, I was in a room, I looked next to my name, it was Tay Zonday of Chocolate Rain fame. I don't even know if you remember this dude, but he had that Chocolate Rain song. Yeah, he was next to me in the room. I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool. Another one, I was in my little guy. My son, he still needs someone to sit with him in his room when he falls asleep. So it's cute. I'm enjoying it while I still got it. But I'm in there with the earbuds in, and I see this random room pop up. It was when that Biggie documentary hit. And so it was all the Junior Mafia and Little C's and all these guys chopping it up, talking about Biggie and their memories. And I so wanted to get on there, and say something, but I couldn't. I was stuck there for an hour or whatever till this guy was done tossing and turning. And then one time I was whipping around in the car, and in my profile it says, official whale blockchain beats or whatever. And I popped into this room. It was like Q&A with DJ K Slay. It within like seconds they yanked me up on stage. And I'm like, whoa, I'm just trying to grab a pizza, buddy. Like, maybe later. But I just, I thought that was cool because it talks to how high profile NFTs are in the eyes of everyone, quite frankly, but definitely in the music industry, right? They were like, we need to talk to this guy now. So yeah, amazing stuff always happening on Clubhouse. You can pop in and you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, another legendary room I'm just remembering that was super cool is we had Mike Dean and Shepard Fairey come through and we did their drop, an amazing legendary producer. And then we had there was a room that wasn't even an NFT club room that I popped into, and Paul Rosenberg was there and talking about Eminem, his history as a rapper. And she's like, yeah, so just super cool. Like, you never know who you're gonna meet. Like Tay Zonde, like an old YouTuber with that big hit. Like today you're not even thinking about him, you see him on stage, you're like, wow, like what's up, dude? Like, it's cool to see you here. You know what I mean? There's just so many occurrences like that happen a lot more than you would think,
Right. So how did you guys get exposed to Whale Shark and Whale?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it's interesting because I'd heard Whale Shark in many rooms that the NFT Club has hosted and that we've been on stage with, and I forgot exactly the theme of this particular room, but it was beautiful because the first time I got to really share openly about another venture I have is Hawks. Hawks is a clothing line that's health, abundance, wealth, knowledge itself. It's like an apparel line. We do these really dope custom hoodies. And the first time I got to share about that and talk about that a little bit was when Whale Shark was on stage. And I was also just talking about my background working with young people. I used to, before music jumped off, I used to work with at-risk youth for many years in LA. And I'm really proud of that work because it's not like try to have a merit badge around what I do, but I'm proud of how I learned so much from that community as a mentor and how much they taught me, because it's like a reciprocal exchange every time you enter a mentorship with somebody. And I got to share that story about what Hawks is and our vision to create a foundation working with young people, making a curriculum out of the affirmation, health, abundance, wealth, knowledge itself, and really, finding a piece of land to preserve and do educational courses with kids, and ultimately do physical and digital hoodies. And so I was sharing that and a little bit about, who I was. And Whale Shark was so inspired, he dropped in and shared and reflected some beautiful things back and ended up sending us 30 of his elite hoodies, which is his company, which is crazy because I didn't even know Whale Shark had a hoodie brand. And he blessed us with 30 hoodies that he gave us permission to do like a collaborative piece with. And so keep in mind, this whole Hawks company is only a few months old. It's all brand new. We're all still forming it together. And he was kind enough to offer some of his hoodies for us to collaborate with. And, we're in this space now, but we're actually wanting to attract someone on the artistic team. I mean, obviously our brother Ryan, who made the physical logo, he's a phenomenal illustrator, but we would love someone who's an incredible digital artist that can help us make these into some incredible wearables in the metaverse, who can help us kind of take it into the digital space too and do some cool things. And so to me, it's all about relationships, taking our time. We're not trying to rush into anything, but that's where I connected with Whale Shark. He was kind enough to bless us with some hoodies. And that's definitely one of the reasons why we're even here, just kind of like tapping in with you guys and being so inspired how Whale Shark has created a whole community, supporting people, supporting artists, creating social tokens. To me, it's very avant-garde. This is the first time I've entered a social token community space on Discord. And to be honest, the reason I came on to Discord was the Whale community, because I just feel really inspired by what Whale Shark is doing and helping and kind of uplift each and every one of you on here. It's really dope. It's really cool to see it happen, to see like the evolution of money, the evolution of community, the evolution of tech kind of all colliding at once. And I feel like Whale Shark's kind of at the forefront of this movement.
Yeah, I agree. Whale Shark has been very, I've been a pioneer of the space. He, was in the NFT game very early in building his community, the Whale Discord, and building his personal collection. And I found out about Whale Shark because of Farouk, because they ended up bonding on the app and they ended up becoming cool friends. And I remember one day Farouk was like, "Oh my God, Whale Shark, like Whale Coin is just going crazy right now. Like it was like $1, now it's like $15, and it's going crazy." I was like, "What are you talking about? Wait, what, $1 to $15 in a week? Like, what do you mean? Wait, tell me more." Because I was like looking at all the cryptos and all the coins like to actually invest in and flip. I was like, "Wait, what is this guy? Like, what does he do?" And so he told me about Whale Shark, and I looked into the whale community, the whale collection, and I was like, wow, this is like a no-brainer. Like this guy is obviously doing something right. He has this amazing collection of all these amazing NFTs that he's curating. And he has his own Discord and his own community that he's giving back to and supporting his day one art and day one supporters. Like this guy just seems like a cool guy. So I really just found out about Whale Shark just through the coin. And so I bought, the coin. I bought a lot of the coin, and I was just like, I'm gonna just hold on to it because NFTs are a really big thing, and I think it's gonna be the future. And it's cool to see such a big collection, tokenize his collection. And so that grew from just learning about the coin to actually connecting on Clubhouse, and seeing him do rooms and him coming to some of our rooms and us coming to some of his rooms. And it's just been like a very serendipitous thing. Like I've said, it's just very random, very sporadic. Like boom, there's this guy Whale Shark. He's has this amazing collection. He's like anonymous. He's cool, And then from then, ended up joining Discord, and here we are. I connected with Alegria in the Discord because J Brave was telling me, hey, I just connected on the Whale Discord. Like I'm about to have a call. And I was like, oh cool, like add me. Like I'm trying to get in too, So and then we ended up here, and I'm loving what you guys are doing with the community, and I'm a big supporter of not only Whale but Elite E1337. So you guys have a lot of amazing things.
Very cool. Yeah, and you touched on it a little bit. I mean, his ethos really is helping, the community become whales through Whale. So it's all about empowerment, whether it's from artists, whether it's through investors, whether it's through people that just want to be involved in the space. He's definitely really spending his time trying to create something that's going to outlast many of us, for decades, right? When we sit down and we do planning, our timeline is pretty far out because we definitely think that this movement and what we're building has legs. And it's a testament to you guys that he enjoys his time on Clubhouse so much, because he talked about the energy of the people just being thirsty for knowledge about, a lot of the specifics, a lot about the history, and just really wanted to authentically connect. And so that really energized him, and it's kind of a symbiotic relationship at this point. We have people all the time joining our Discord say, hey, I just came from Clubhouse, and then vice versa. We're sending all kinds of people over there. So it is definitely a bridge. That was a great analogy that was used at that time. And J Brave, if I understand this correctly, you were inspired at that point in some of those conversations with Whale Shark and talking about Wave to write a poem. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just like, it's cool, bro. What's dope about hearing someone's voices, that you hear their authenticity and their feeling and their vibe. And I remember when I first heard him speak, I just felt like, wow, this is such a kind person. And I'm all about kindness. Like being kind to me is like so important. It seems very simple, but you can feel that energy in his voice. And I was in a room, it might've been that same room, I forgot when. I just felt so inspired by some conversations that were being had on Clubhouse. And sometimes I get that whim of inspiration, and I just started writing. So I wrote a poem dedicated to the whale community, and happy to share it whenever you want me to catch a vibe. Yeah,
no, definitely. We'd love to hear it if that's okay with you.
Yeah, for sure. I haven't memorized it, but I got it right here queued up on my laptop. So I'll turn a little bit, but hopefully y'all catch the full wave. Wondrous humanity accomplishing limitless expression, Whale. We strive as a community to remember this beautiful intention. We are connected, unified for a common cause to co-create a world decentralized of power, wealth, and opportunities. We diversify our portfolios and celebrate diversity. The biggest mammal on Earth resides in the shimmering ocean. The ebb and flow of water represents the depths of our emotions. we are holding. Stay patient with our currency, being the change we wish to see, and creating our reality with NFTs. The digital renaissance is upon us. Social tokens show devotion and allegiance to our squad. We work to shift the story and break away from the facade. Financial freedom and sovereignty, forging new pathways to abolish corrupt monopolies. This is prophecy. Rainbow warriors, different cultures and races. We build out the metaverse where we break down the matrix. Love over hatred. Come together, play your part. Now's the time to share your art. Let's all give some flowers to the big homie whale shark. Because people come and go, but true leaders last forever. You taught us how to fish and how to look within to find our treasure. So now that we believe, let's make the earth a better place. Because nothing's more important than investing in your faith.
That was amazing.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Very, very cool to hear all of the things that we talk about as far as being intrinsic value we're trying to build, and the ethos and that conveying and coming across. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I'm grateful, man. I was really inspired. Honestly, I love community. Like I said, I've been throwing events for over 18 years in LA, and to like be immersed in this, that's the most important thing I tell people when they ask me about NFTs or even crypto or really anything. It's like, yo, there's a community of people behind it. Don't just look at these things, whether it's music or crypto or art, as only a commodity. Like, it comes from a space of, I'm an artist, so I know the feeling of art comes through as a channel from the divine. You feel me? It's not me, it's coming through me. And so to me, being an artist and to know that, whether it's a visual art or musical art, is to understand the connection with God. And so to me, like, the community is an extension of that connection with the divine. And I feel like I just felt inspired, and like, how else could I show some appreciation and honor? Well Shark just blessed us with some hoodies. Like, let me just write a poem to do what I do and show appreciation to him and everyone in the community. And I'm really like inspired. I mean, to see what y'all have created is no joke, like no cap. It like what y'all are doing is like revolutionary. It's avant-garde. It's like the next level of bringing people together to make prosperity, abundance, inspiration. How do we make everyone a whale in the whale community, which I think is really dope. And then to utilize that prosperity to serve the world. Let's utilize the profits we make to give back, to help communities, to like give back to the arts, to give back to the earth. And so, really honored to be able to have the space to share that. And just honored to offer that prayer for each and every one of you listening out there.
The honor is all ours for you picking us to be the topic of that amazing piece. So thank you so much, J Brave. And Noah, I see you adjusted your camera angle a little bit, and I can see the bench in the background now. Are we gonna get a demonstration of why you're wearing that sweatshirt because you're yoked over there, or what's going on?
I mean, I'm just in my garage, and I got the setup and all the weights. And
What's up with that sax, Noah?
I got my sax put up right now. I get it out though, but I've been playing the saxophone for a couple of years, and one of the things I started on Clubhouse, I forgot to mention, was just I would join rooms, just random rooms, not plan on it, play the saxophone, like just like play some random song, or just in the middle of I'll break a little conversation. People be arguing about something. I'm like, and they're like, yeah.
Like that. What wasn't that? That was like a video clip for a while, right? Like the sexy sax guy. He would walk into a place and just start playing.
Yeah, I started playing sax. I saw that video. The dude would just walk into like McDonald's or Walmart and just like pop on the tables and just go crazy. I'm like, damn,
bro, you got to go get it, bro. You got to just pop off real quick.
Yeah, for sure. Give me a second.
Oh, I thought we were just joking with him. He's really going to get it.
He's finna do it. This is a moment to share and express, and that's the cool thing, man. About I feel like life is an expression. You know what I'm saying? Like when we express our gifts, we come into our wholeness because we all have something to contribute. And I feel like this is a part of your contribution, Nytmare. I'm just getting to know you, but it's beautiful that you get to hold this container for new people coming into your community to help them be seen and heard. And that's a beautiful form of expression. I've been hosting events in the physical reality for like so many years, and it's definitely an art to do that, to hold a container and to let people shine. And so I commend you too for revealing your gifts and And I'm sure you're into all sorts of other ways of expressing too, but it's beautiful to feel that reciprocity, because that's kind of what community is all about.
Hey, thank you. And you just reminded me, I did notice that you host workshops for creatives. Is that correct? Your keys of creation. So what do you kind of have, like an incubator with other creatives and come out with cool projects?
Yeah, like I mentioned before, like I started, it's funny because I was valeting car after I got out of the music business in the early 2000s. It was a very powerful transition time for me. And I was living in Koreatown in LA, and I started working as a valet at this luxury apartment, moving like Bentleys and dope cars. It was kind of cool to drive up all these sick Porsches and stuff, right? This luxury apartment complex. And then the homie was working in social services, and he actually took a higher paying position in the same network, but was like, yo, my position just opened up and I'd love to refer you to be a youth counselor for these at-risk youth. He was working with at-risk youth in the streets that were in and out of foster care, living in abandoned buildings, living in the streets, like in and out of incarcerated facilities, young men and women that were prostituting, like really challenging situation. Keep in mind, LA has the biggest homeless population in the country. And so he enrolled me into that space and got me an opportunity. I said yes, and it ended up lasting for 10 years. I worked for 5 different nonprofit organizations. The longest tenure was at a spot called My Friend's Place in Hollywood. And so I've always kind of been building up this part of me that's a counselor or a mentor, and understanding again that the mentorship is always a reciprocal exchange. It's not meant to put someone else above anyone else. It's meant to realize that like there's a connection between 2 people or more, and there's an exchange of energy that's healing both of us. And that's like being a parent too, as you can. By the way, I'm a new dad as well. My second kid was born a few weeks ago. I have a daughter.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so I know the feeling of having a newborn, like you mentioned, around the house recently. That's why I haven't really been on Clubhouse the last many weeks, because I've been with the little one. But just to say all this story is that from that, I started doing one-on-one coaching maybe 5 years ago. And just when COVID hit, I started doing online group courses about creativity called Keys of Creation. And I'm doing a collaborative course called Leap into Leadership with another dope artist named Kiyoshi. And we offer this space for people to write poetry, to help them hone their craft of songwriting and rapping, giving them tools to like have performance tips to grow their performance abilities, and also offering them tools to help them learn how to create their own courses, how to make their own offerings, how to attract clients in an organic way. And so kind of offering the full spectrum of tools to build leaders in our community through their creativity. There can never be too many leaders, mentors, coaches, because there's always going to be people that feel a connection with certain people, have an affinity with someone else. And I feel like it's important to have many different types of archetypes of coaches and leaders in the community to support us on our path of growth and transformation. So yeah, it's definitely a big part of my offerings. I love helping people open up their voices, express their gifts, and being in service.
Awesome. I thought Noah was going to chime in right there mid explanation and give us an example of what he does on Clubhouse. Noah, you ready to show us something?
Yeah, man. I mean, so yeah, I just planned this for a little while, and I just love playing for people. So yeah, I'm gonna just like. That was just
Hey.
Yeah, I mean, so the one thing I really love about this instrument in particular, because I used to play the piano before, and then I knew I always liked music, and I like to kind of just go off but what I wanted to do. And one of the issues I had with playing piano starting was I hated reading music. I hate reading music and like playing something exactly boo boo doo 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 doo, because it's like I think like, okay, well, everyone else can also read that same piece of music and do that exact same thing and probably do it better than me because I'm just starting. So I was like, how can I actually do my own thing? So what I would do is I would just like listen to songs and I would kind of just like freestyle my own songs on the piano. Like I would go crazy, like just going up and down all the keys, just trying to figure out what sounded right for me. And so I kind of broke out of that like shell of like a lot of musicians kind of like are very like boom, 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 like classical, very strict, which is, you know, really still impressive. It's an amazing style, but that's just not the style I found that I enjoyed the most. So then I found this instrument because I figured out that it's the one instrument that's the closest sounding to the human voice out of all the instruments, this and the violin. And so I figured out, I mean, playing this thing is kind of just like singing to me. It's kind of like whatever I want to say in my head, or any kind of like rhyme, or even like it's like rapping. Any kind of rhyme or flow I come up with, I could just translate that, and it just goes from my brain to my fingertips, and all I gotta do is blow out the air, and it just flows. You know, so that's one of my favorite things about this instrument. And yeah, I mean, it's, you know, something I picked up and I enjoy. You know.
It's funny you say that. A long-standing member of our community, Easy in Crypto, he also runs the Cypher Project, which is kind of a freestyle hip-hop tokenization project where people get into a cipher and things are able to be minted at low cost for artists. And he can explain it better than I at some point. Wow. But he actually said at one of their freestyle sessions the other day, a dude came in and busted out the sax and was freestyling with it, just like you alluded to.
Maybe I gotta come through.
Yeah, I connected with Easy in Clubhouse. He's a cool dude, and I heard about what he was doing, but I haven't had the chance to check that out. So maybe this is a nice prelude for us to connect on the show too.
Yeah, you know, the question really is, what is Easy not doing? Because I feel like that guy is a builder and everything going on in the NFT space. So definitely an incredible person. But I have a question now. When is the J Brave featuring Noah Niles track coming?
I was just thinking the same thing, dude.
That's the next evolution of this conversation.
I don't know.
Yeah. Like, it's cool because Noah, since January, like Noah and I have been talking every day, and we hadn't talked in months because of COVID and life and this and that. But now our relationship is really, really growing. We're both Geminis, by the way. And so we have a kind of astrological connection too, but I'm loving it. I love seeing Noah grow and expand and take a leadership role. I would love to collaborate with you, bro. I think it would be such a beautiful thing. Noah's dad too has, we were talking about a while ago, he has all these like amazing nature sounds, and he loves like animals and like owls. And I was like, yo, that, you know, he was like, let's collaborate and like get some music to that. And like, I love collaboration and art. To me, that's the best thing about all this. And if in doing that, we can make some sustainability and serve the world too, then that's the icing on top. But, you know, to understand, like Noah was saying, just channeling that energy through and allowing the energy to come out with unconditional love is like, it's such a beautiful feeling. And that's why I think the NFT space is cool, because I feel, you know, regardless of people's levels, you know, people are creating art, and I think making art is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, if you guys need anyone with little like growls or grunts or like, you know, some horrible punch-ins, let me know. I'll hop in there.
Course,
that's what's up.
We'll get you on the ad-libs.
That's what's up.
So I'd love to know, you know, you guys see a lot of different artists. Any people that you're particularly feeling just at this moment that you want to throw the spotlight on for people to be aware of? Who are you really feeling in that space?
The first NFT that I bought was my bro Mir One. And I've known Mir for a long time. He's like a legend in the LA graffiti scene and mural scene in LA. And he's painted at my events before. And, you know, to me, it was like the first time I dropped some money on an NFT, I'm like, you know what? Again, I have no expectation of making anything out of this. It's not about an investment for me. I want to support Mir One because this is his first NFT drop. And he's, to me, like a legendary artist. And I wanted just to give back. And so look out for Mir One. He's going to do a lot of dope stuff in the NFT space because he's been making physical art for a long time. That's incredible, revolutionary, speaking against injustice. So that's someone to look out for. I just want to put his name out there.
Very cool. I'll have to check it. Noah, how about you?
I mean, I'm actually trying to pull up this artist right now that I'm a big fan of on his Instagram. His name is, so I found this guy on Clubhouse. We were just doing a room, just a random NFT drop, not a random, but it was one of them. I don't remember off the top of my head. And I remember just looking through all the profile pictures in the audience. And I was seeing all these cool characters, like, you know, like CryptoPunks, people's own NFTs. Like you could tell who was an artist and who wasn't just because the people had the art as the profile picture. And I found one guy that really stuck out to me, and his name is Victor. And on Instagram, it's VICTORIORCG, Victoria CG. And in my opinion, he's one of the best character designing artists that's out there right now. And I've really been able to connect with him offline. You know, so I just want to give him some love right there. Shout out to you, man. Yeah, he's right there. He's just been one of the, you know, coolest, craziest artists I've seen so far and really connected with. And, you know, funny enough, if you go to that like monkey character to the right there holding the banana, I actually, you know, really saw, I really love that piece. And when he released that, I bid on it. And, you know, I wasn't expecting to win because there's a lot of people on it. He's like great artist. So I bid like whatever amount, like 0.2 ETH or 0.3 ETH, whatever amount I was cool, like bidding. And then it turns out Amir, one of the collectors we built a relationship with, outbid me. You know, I was like, damn, okay, whatever. Like it's cool if he has it. I mean, I know the artist, he's cool. And then so what happened the next day or within the next couple of days is Amir ended up reaching out to my dad because they're close. And he was like, oh, I feel bad because I outbid Noah on this piece. And I saw that he bid. So what's his wallet address? I'm just gonna send it to him. I was like, wow, like, and he sent it to me, and that really meant a lot to me. You know, especially when this guy I've never met in real life, but he's a really amazing collector and artist himself. So I was like, wow, this is super crazy. And yeah, he ended up donating me the piece after I already found this artist and connected with him. So this guy's a really special artist to me. You know, he's one of the best out there in my opinion.
Yeah, he's dope. And just to add too, before we move on, I wanted to also shout out, I panned out a little bit. The art behind me is from a dear friend of mine named Amanda Sage. She is one of the most legendary visionary artists in the world. Like she does, this is like you know, this is a print, but she's a phenomenal, like my personal favorite, like artist out there doing really beautiful stuff. And, you know, we've been talking about maybe collaborating on some NFT stuff and supporting her in the NFT space as well. And it's cool. It's cool to see like the physical artist stepping into the NFT space and then a digital artist making physical art. It's like opening up new pathways. So she's also an amazing artist to look out for, Amanda Sage.
Awesome. Thank you guys for your recommendations. Okay.
You guys should check out the NFT Guild. It's, you know, it's a really amazing community, and we just launched our own Discord that I'm actually, you know, one of the moderators of. And, you know, one of the main focuses we have is similar to the Whale Discord, where it's like, how can we support our supporters? How can we make everybody a whale? How can we make everyone a whale, basically? Right. And so what we've, you know, what's done is the artist has, you know, dropped these NFTs, which are really exclusive NFTs at, you know, the cheapest prices, 0.005 ETH, you know, 0.001 ETH. I forget what the baseline was, but basically it's free, except all you got to do is pay gas fees, right? And they're super limited, and he's incentivizing people to buy them, but not just buy them, but hold them and appreciate the art. And so what, you know, Mondour is doing is he's airdropping gifts to people who hold his NFTs. So, I mean, that's a super, you know, amazing collection, and that I'm happy to be a part of as well.
Very interesting. And in that vein, you know, what are some projects you guys are working on that you'd like to highlight while we got you here so we could be in the know? We talked about NFT Guild. We talked about Hawk Apparel. Anything else we should be on the lookout for?
For now, you want to continue?
I was just going to say, yeah, I mean, my main focus has been the Hawks line as far as like an NFT drop for myself personally. Obviously, there's so many awesome artists and friends that are doing great things. At one point, I do want to put out some NFTs with my music. I've been tuning into that and seeing how I want to enter the space and what songs or music would be most appropriate and what I can do that's unique, or maybe I can tie that with some cause. Like for instance, with the Sacred Song, the video we saw in the beginning, coming full circle, I connected with my friends at Unify. They have like over 2 million followers on Facebook, and they do some phenomenal meditations and live stream events via Facebook and offline as well. And also connected with Honor the Earth, and they're like an indigenous rights organization based out of Minnesota. They're from a specific Native American tribe, and I dedicated the proceeds from the Bandcamp, specifically the link to the song, toward that organization when it drops. So I'd love to do something in the future with my music that could bridge, the song and the artwork of the song, and maybe supporting a specific cause, doing some great things, because I feel like it's important to have the philanthropy facet involved. And so, look out for that. No definitive date or plan, but that's definitely a vision I've been having in the back of my head.
Yeah. I'm super excited because we have a lot of amazing things coming up. Not a lot of things I could speak on right now just because it's so early, but, maybe something having to do with this, maybe a collaboration with me and J Brave coming soon. I don't want to say too much, but, just be on the lookout.
If there is a place to leak some alpha, it's here. I'm just throwing it out there. If you got a teaser, if you got something.
I feel like that sax teaser was the teaser.
All right. We'll take it. Well, thank you guys so much for spending the time with us today. I know I'm already seeing comments in our Discord community of people that found it really insightful and they appreciated the conversation. Once again, you're going to see plenty from our community come over and say hello, and we'll continue to bridge back and forth from the traditional NFT space and what you guys are building incredibly over on Clubhouse.
Yeah, it's so beautiful, man. And just beyond the Discord and art club, it's like what we've noticed on Clubhouse is we're not the only ones doing this. It's not like we have a monopoly. There's 20 other NFT clubs. I'm looking on Clubhouse right now. There's like 5 NFT rooms right now. It's so crazy and so amazing. NFTs for charity, NFTs for women. How can we, uplift each other? NFT meetings. I'm just reading the rooms I see right now. Like, it's just so amazing how this community is just. I feel like this community is just all enwrapped together. Despite maybe if you're in the Whale Discord or the NFT club, we're all on the same team. So that's one of my favorite parts about this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and just in closing, I'm inspired by the space, the community first and foremost. Really grateful that you can have us on. Really grateful for Whale Shark's personal support with the Hawks brand. Shout out to Farak and Paulo for holding it down with the NFT club. And it's just beautiful, man. I feel like bridging community is so important at a time where it's felt like everything's collapsing in our world, in the government and the economy, and when going through this crazy pandemic and stuff. It's important we stick together and support each other in real ways. And I'm just inspired by what's happening in this Whale community. I feel like it's a great example for all of us to take notice of and see how we can implement what y'all are doing as far as entertainment and games and community tokens. And it's incredible what y'all are doing here. It's very inspiring to see what's possible and how we can all maximize that moving forward. And I think NFTs in general has the potential, crypto as well, to really bridge a new reality. I think it has the potential to be a multi-billion-dollar industry and beyond. And I feel like it has the potential to really inspire a lot of people first and foremost, because it's incredible how we can put artists at the forefront and realize that, the artists tell the stories. They tell the accurate stories. The history books tell usually a representation of who wins the wars or who wins the elections or wins this and that. But the artists from all modalities tell the most accurate representation of history. So it's really important that we support all artists in so many ways. And I really commend you, Nytmare, and also the whole Whale community for really being a bridge to support the arts and do it in a phenomenal way where the ecology meets economics and we can do some great things. You feel me?
Most definitely. And in that vein, I am not going to be the last thing that these people hear. It has to be the art. So I'm going to take everyone out with, it looks like your latest release, right? Let It Out, a song I heard on your Spotify that I really like because it has that kind of old West Coast vibe and just kind of talks to the diversity of music that you can make. So gentlemen, thank you once again. I'm going to ride out with this music. I will see you on Clubhouse.
Thank you so much for having us, man.
Thank you.
Take care.
Yeah. Brave. Let's go. I used to be dead broke, but now I'm abundant beyond measure. There's no ledger. I got my eye on the one treasure. I give all these infinite gifts. I live for limitless bliss. I blow a kiss while I'm rocking my drip. Flip. Any verse don't trip, I got a first, a thirst for hidden knowledge, and I'm repping my turf. This is L dot, A dot, flowing like Aesop. Got an inner knowing, all praise to the Most High. We can look to the stars, we don't have to be caught up in all the vanity of luxury cars. If you got it, then I give you applause, cause we're all on the quest to find balance, everyone has flaws. So, see yourself in the next man, the best plan. Love all, let go of judgment and count your blessings. I know presence is key, on the journey of life to find meaning, all I found was me.
I'm living on the earth, everybody is my family. Family. I live my life and everything manifests magically. Magically, let it out, open up. Let the universe do what it gotta. Let it out, open up, open up. Let the universe do what it gotta do. Yo, it's the nature in the flow. I'm riding on the river, sometimes I just don't know. I left my house with some dollars and no plan. Surrendered to the universal brand. Hitchhiked from the coast to coast. Kept on believing and the universe kept the toast. The most who learned to harness up the force. Subtle energy, learn to balance my chi. Breathe up my J, my soul could sing. I claim my inner king, destroy the demons in the ring. It's amazing what this life can bring. When you're seeking from within, all your chakras start to spin. On the wheel of fortune, replaying the win. So are you truly ready? Drop all the petty fame, hate, and power. No, we won't cower. Whenever I fall, rise like the CN Tower. I'm living on the earth, everybody is my family. Family. I live my life and everything manifests magically. Magically, let it out, open up, open up. Let the universe do what it gotta. Let it out, open up, open up. Let the universe do what it gotta do. Sometimes you just need to get out your way. Let the universe do what it gotta do. Let the universe do what it gotta do.
Let the universe do what it gotta do.
Manifest with your vibration, manifest with your vision. Set your whole intention, plant the seed, sprinkle with a little belief. Focus, determination, she will give you what you need. Take the lead, speak with your movement, improvement day by day. Manifest in a magical way, raise your pay, give yourself your own promotion. Raise your grade, you in the miracle motions. A gift of creation, amazing, be grateful. Raise your vibration, write your check, do what's best for your health. Fuck what others say, look in the mirror, truly claim who's brave. Pave the way for all the earth's future children. It was written, open your hands and it's given. Manifest the way, trust with all your heart, and spirit will show you where to walk.
I was walking down the street with my bird eye. Feel the ground to my feet with my head high. You can crown me a king cause I'm so fly. So fierce and luminous in this young vibe. Plant-based, nearly 20 years strong. There's no one path, no right, no wrong. But I stay in alignment, stay on assignment. Pray to the spirits and ancestors behind us. The world is a beautiful place. I do what it takes to thrive, and I'm keeping my faith by looking your face and know we are one and the same. Celebrate your existence while healing my shame. It's a game, some struggle and suffer through all the pain. The more that you resist, the more you strengthen the chains. Find acceptance. I know it's difficult to change. We alchemize it all through the flames. Brave.
I'm living on the earth, everybody is my family. Family.
Yeah.
I live my life and everything manifests magically. Magically, let it out, open up, open up. Let the universe do what it gotta. Let it out, open up, open up. Let the universe do what it gotta do. Manifest with our hearts, co-creating a new earth. J Brave, nature flow. From L dot A dot T dot O. For sure. Peace.